From the South Dallas Cultural Center studios in sunny South Dallas, this is Deconstructing Dallas. Greetings, everyone. This is your host, Ryan Trimble, sitting alongside the glowing Sean Williams. Sean, good day, sir.
Good day. I think it is a glow based on all the good feels.
Man.
All the feels from the Wind Spirit Opera House in the Arts District. We were at the inauguration yesterday, and it just seemed like a really, really good day, and everybody was loving on everybody.
It was our biannual reunion, I would say.
It was, and I think we've talked about before, like, you know, if you look at a State of the City address or something like that happens at the Dallas Regional Chamber, that's good. But this is a day when you had all types of people from all over the city in one place, seemingly on one accord. So that was really nice. At the city council and mayor inauguration, it was a great event yesterday.
Let me tell you, we ended up having to split up. It was a new day. Usually, for the past 1,000 years, these things have been at the Meyerson Symphony Center. And yesterday, it was at the Wind Spirit Opera House. So it was a fun change. It was a great setting. The seating was, we were VIP, Sean. Of course,
we did have tickets.
We had the VIP tickets. You ended up in a box.
I had a great seat in the
seating,
box.
Maybe is what they call it.
I had a great seat in the box.
I was up on the third floor mezzanine, but I was surrounded by folks. I had grassroots folks. I had the former district attorney, Faith Johnson. I had John Turner, State Representative John Turner. I had County Judge Clay Jenkins. So it was just a big swirl of everybody. There were lobbyists and city staff, and so it made for an interesting day. And everybody in the pool, Sean.
Well, one of the reasons we did not get to our seats in time, or at least in the seating section in time, is because we were out hobnobbing with folks and
so many hugs,
shaking hands,
so many
and kissing babies and everything.
Bro hugs. Everything.
I know, and it's like the bro hug now has just become the full-on bear hug. I mean, you go in with the handshake, and once you bring it in, everybody's just going ahead and going for the full deal now. So it was
the back slap.
Yeah, the double back slap. So it was a great day, and even the ceremony itself was really well done. Shout out to all the staff who puts in all the work. I even saw our last guest, Bené Hammond. I could see her in the background, backstage, directing people just because that's what she does. That's what she does. Yeah. And it just was a really good feeling. Mayor Rawlings gave a really good address and challenge to the city. And it was really, and also the new council members, looking at their faces, especially my friend and a friend of ours, Paula Blackman. She walked down and gave the mayor a really big hug, and I think a lot of people didn't realize the history that they had when she was his first chief of staff in the office, but it was just a really great feeling.
Yeah, it was a great day. Really excited to see some of our friends. Obviously, Jennifer Gates, our friend and client, former guest on the show. Yes. Congratulations to her. David Blewett, the new council member from District 14, he was getting mobbed by folks, and we saw Chad West, our friend Chad West from District 1, the new council member. So a lot of good energy. I think this group is ready to rock, hit the ground running, and make some big changes, move the ball down the field for the city of Dallas.
Yes, and Mayor Johnson set forth his vision for the city, talking about public safety, talking about the use of data, talked about ethics, talked about education. I mean, again, it's going to be really important that all the folks come together and really work towards the future. And they also voted on and selected a mayor pro tem. Congratulations to our friend Adam Madrano, who is the mayor pro tem, as well as our former guest and friend Adam Magoo, who is the deputy mayor pro tem for the Dallas City Council.
The mayor's Adam. You like that, Sean?
Yeah, I think that you got something going there.
Thank you.
Again, we got 3 Adams on the council, so
the Adam Caucus.
Have to figure out how we're going to differentiate between the 3.
That's right. Well, Sean, we've got an exciting show coming up today. A Parisian in the house.
Yes, I'm glad you got that right. Every now and then people who talk about those of us from Paris, Texas, the second largest Paris in the world, some make the mistake of saying parasites, and that is
I
not
would never.
That
call
is
you a
not
parasite,
okay.
Sean.
Well, I just want to make sure. So I do appreciate you for saying Parisian. And yeah, one of my former schoolmates, Tamisa Hunter, is going to be our guest today. She is the founder of Women Like Us, Inc. And we'll let her talk about the wonderful things that she's doing to empower women through that organization, as well as a conference that she has coming up in August, the Unmasking Conference. And Tamisa is married to one of my classmates, Jonathan Hunter. So shout out to Jonathan. Played defensive end over there while I was back in the secondary. So a lot of history with the Hunter family.
I want some of those video clips. Can we get those?
There are tapes. I'll see if I can
I want
come
the
up with
highlight
one.
reel.
I did not have a highlight reel because I don't know how many highlights there
reel,
were.
Sean,
but there were probably 3 or 4 good plays that I still have in my memory bank, in my personal highlight reel that I play over and over.
You find your highlight reel, and I'll find my Albuquerque Academy Chargers highlight reel from.
I want the highlight reel from your tryout that you did. That's
The
what I'm looking
baseball
for.
tryout?
Yeah, the baseball tryout.
Yeah, not going to happen. Yeah.
So when we come back, we will talk to our guest, Tamisa Hunter. This is Deconstructing Dallas. And Sean Williams, Ryan Trimble. We will be right back.
Here at Allen Media, we're proud to represent some of the finest organizations across a variety of different industries. And we're proud to welcome Pape Dawson Engineers to that list of outstanding firms. Pape Dawson is one of Texas's finest and most respected engineering firms, and now the company is expanding its presence here in Dallas. Whether you're looking for civil engineering, transportation, water resources, environmental, or surveying projects, Pape Dawson has the experience needed to get the job done. What's more, Pape Dawson is committed to responsible corporate citizenship in the communities they serve. So if you need an engineer, do yourself a favor and call my friend Brad Davis here in Dallas at 214-420-8494 today and tell him Ryan told you to call. Pape Dawson, where the people make the difference. Welcome back, Deconstructing Dallas. Ryan Trimble, Sean Williams. Sean, very excited today to welcome our guest. She is the founder of Women Like Us, Inc. She's Tamisa Hunter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming and visiting us in sunny South Dallas.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a little sun.
That's right. That's right. So we've been working with you on a conference that you're working on, which we'll discuss later. But for our listeners, we'd like for you to just talk a little bit about Women Like Us, Inc., what the organization is and how it got started.
Oh, wow. Women Like Us. Women Like Us, Inc. is a nonprofit organization that focuses and caters around women to help them be who God has designed them to be through different programs such as we do like vision board parties, we do brunch and Bible studies. We do, we have a fundraising event coming up, Feed the Homeless, Back to School, and just kind of bring the women together for a no judgment zone. Letting them know that, hey, we understand that you have a past. However, we're going to unmask out of every time we get together just so you can be comfortable with who you are, knowing who you are, and don't allow the world to define you in different areas to where you have to be someone that you don't have to be based off of social media or what someone might have put in your head as you were growing up. Say, hey, that's not the case. So by you being surrounded by other women that can help you understand that it's okay and allow you to continue to shed those layers off, they give them an opportunity to become the woman they should be through Women Like Us.
That's great. And really exciting to hear about women like us and see some more about your organization. I want to know a little bit more about you, Tamisa. You have a really incredible story. Can you share with us some about your story?
Oh, wow. Which part? Well, I am from Paris, Texas. I was a child that I felt as though was a black sheep. I was rejected from my father, who said that I was not his child. I was told by my mother that I wasn't supposed to be here. So I grew up not knowing where I fit in. So I always tried to force myself into friendships or relationships just so I can feel wanted. Through that, I struggled with depression. I struggled with suicidal thoughts. I was also sexually abused. I was homeless, which allowed me to get into an abusive relationship because I am a domestic violence survivor as well. The list goes on. If you can name it, I probably have somehow part of my life experienced it. But I'm a living testimony, I'm a living witness, and I'm thriving now, and so I can share my testimonies.
And, we were in a meeting the other day, Tamisa, and I got an extended version of the story. And for anyone who wants to get the extended version, they would probably need to come to one of the sessions, come to the conference. But, you mentioned domestic violence, and we've talked to, I worked in Mayor Rollins' office, and that was a huge, huge initiative that he had. And I learned things about domestic violence that I had no idea about. And so for those ladies who are going through it or who are still struggling from the effects of it, how were you able and how have you been able to continue to move on? Because even in the discussion we had, it's something that's still with you, but how have you continued to move forward from what you went through?
I think the more I open up about it and don't be fearful of what could happen. I kept quiet for a long time because I didn't want to be judged, because I felt like people wouldn't understand why I chose that life or why I was in that relationship. But it streamed from a long period of childhood disappointments and rejections that allowed me to be in an unhealthy relationship. So each day I tell myself that I am worthy. I tell myself that I am beautiful, and I tell myself I am a woman of this world that can walk in dominion. So when I started speaking positive affirmations over myself, I started believing that I am here for a purpose. I started telling and talking about it and not being afraid to share the story. And as I continue to share the story, I continue to unshed a layer of me, which is allowing me to unmask. You can't stay masked in an abusive relationship. You have to allow yourself to be free, because as long as you're in that bondage, you're going to stay in that relationship.
Tamisa, I know your faith is a big part of your story as well. Can you share a little bit about your faith?
Oh, yes. My faith is a huge part of it, because when I didn't know who I was, I would always talk to God, and I will always ask, why me? Why do I go through different things in my life? And I had a void in my life, and when I asked God to fill the void, that's when the relationship started coming, and I heard his voice, but I was afraid because I thought I was crazy, but really I wasn't crazy. That was him talking to me. But I grew up in church all my life. My mom made me go to church, and I just went because I had to go. But really, I was getting that seed planted in me. And as I continued to grow into who I was designed to be, I allowed myself to open up. So my faith gets stronger by me allowing him to be him and me standing on the promises of God.
So, Tamisa, we talked about the prayer line that you have. We've talked about your Bible study and brunch, and I just want to know, what are some of the stories that you're hearing from women when you talk to them? What are not just what they're going through, but also, what they think about your story and the ladies that you have to come talk to other ladies? What are ladies talking to you about?
Oh, wow. They are surprised that I'm still here. So when they see me and see me thriving, that gives them hope. They give them ambition to be able to go forward. And then when they can hear other women's story, to say, okay, I was in that story and now I can go forward. it empowers and inspires them to want to be a better person. So that's why I say, as long as I tell my story, I'm continuing to get healed, but I'm also healing someone else. And for the women to come back and say, hey, I feel empowered, I want to help other women, I'm not afraid anymore to tell my story. When are we having our next event? What other woman can I connect with to where we can just have that relationship to grow? Does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Deconstructing Dallas, Ryan Trimble, Sean Williams. We're going to take a quick